The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And welcome everyone to the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast, which is a no credentials required podcast. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Media Network. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts of the show. We've also got Staniel Smooth. We've also got Brian Germanaro. We're going to talk all things hockey in the New York metro area. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
I'm not having a good week. It's already Monday.
It's only Monday.
I've been very interested in hearing
It's only
about this
Monday.
one. Exactly.
I've never wanted my giant water bottle with my face on it to be filled with liquor more than during this segment or during the show even.
More than yesterday, I guess, huh?
Oh my god! When I tell you, I was already having a weirdly shitty Sunday, and it didn't get better. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to indulge myself to some Pink Floyd and Jack Daniels. Horrible idea.
At least
Horrible
it wasn't absinthe.
idea.
At least it wasn't absinthe.
Yeah.
It's true.
Although, Dark Side of the Moon with absinthe, that could be trippy.
You know, it's a great idea. Have you ever listened to The Endless River? Their recent album?
No.
Go listen to the album from start to finish on an airplane. Knocks you right out. I've done it
Fair.
3 times. It's fantastic.
Fair.
Good to know for
Well, before we get into
Anyway.
before we get into further Pink Floyd talk, we just want to remind the people about No Credentials Required on social media, facebook.com/NoCredsREQ, Twitter, Instagram, the scarcely used TikTok @NoCredsREQ, youtube.com/@NoCredsREQ. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast, No Credentials Required, wherever you find podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, and Pandora, and get yourself notified. On Twitter, I still refuse to call it X, and on YouTube, so you know when new videos are up, when show announcements come up. That way, and you just get notified. Get yourself notified of what's going on in the No Credentials Required sphere. Also, rate, review, leave a comment. This will be on both YouTube and in the podcast form. A 5-star rating on the podcast form would be helpful. A review, if you can leave a review, that'd be really great. If you're on Spotify and you're subscribed, leave a comment. If you're on the YouTube side, leave a comment as well. Because that way you know you're watching the show, you're paying attention, and if you have something to add to the show, we'll even read it on the air. So without further ado, it's been a couple days since we recorded, but I know there's certain things that probably need to be said by at least 2 of the 3 of us tonight about our particular teams, but let's get started. Let's make our way to the island. Mr. Smooth, take it
I
away.
wish I was comfortably numb on the dark side of the moon. One of these days, I'll get there. Nice Pink Floyd puns.
Well, have a cigar. You're going to go far.
Welcome to the
Islanders.
machine. All right. Is this just going to be Pink Floyd references? Because I'm down with that. It's better than naming random NHL goaltenders. Speaking of Christopher Gibson.
Red LeBlanc.
Martin Brodeur.
No, it has to be randomly obscure goaltenders.
D.A. Bear.
Thomas Greiss.
Anthony Ranta.
Well, that's a good one, actually. Yaroslav Halak, who, by the way, went off with Montreal again in an upset over the President's Trophy winning Capitals in 2010, I want to say. Anyway, yeah, the Islanders stink. Nothing is sacred. The hockey gods are cruel. Just oh god. You know what? I'm not ready to completely say that they should blow it up because again, it's December 16th as we're recording. So a lot can happen, but they lost to Chicago badly. And not even like a 3 or 4 goal loss. It was, oh good God, this is happening again. The worst part is it was tied for a majority of the third period. 3-3. And then someone just decided, hey, let's get into the head of Ilya Sorokin where he kicks the puck into his own net. So, and then the Islanders, who I mentioned a stat of the day before we started recording, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, you did.
Can you take a wild guess to know who has the fewest penalty minutes in the NHL right now? Who is penalized the least in the NHL? Take a wild guess.
Who? 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 Who?
Ooh, I sense owls. Where's the Tootsie Roll Pops?
R.I.P. New Day. Big E, man.
Oh,
Broke my heart.
oh, it's a shame. It's a dang shame. The New York Islanders with 165 penalty minutes, which is the fewest in the NHL. The New York Islanders also have the worst penalty kill and the worst power play in the entire league. You don't win hockey games like that. You straight up don't. And yeah, Barzell and Pelech are back, and Anthony Duclair just got activated off long-term injury reserve as of this morning. But Isles Twitter is in shambles. Don't blame them. They actually caused me to drink Jack Daniels straight out of the bottle along with a few other things, but, you know, we'll get to that down the road. Dangerous game, Ryan.
Right out the bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there a few times. Don't get me wrong, but damn.
No, it was interesting because I had Pink Floyd playing in the background, and I was definitely feeling comfortably numb at that point. But you know, I guess shine a new crazy diamond. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm done. But it's infuriating because you know that, like, I'll take Devon Taves as perfect example. Current Colorado Avalanche defenseman Devon Taves. When he was there at the time, I believe their third best prospect, the Islanders. And then Lou doesn't want to pay him and then trades him to Colorado for 2 second-round picks. How does it turn out? Oh, you know, he's a key piece to the Avalanche Stanley Cup run and President's Trophy winning team. It gets better. So he lets Jordan Eberle walk in the expansion draft to Seattle over Josh Bailey. Josh Bailey, and I love Bales. I loved him, but that was a terrible idea. Granted, you got the Bo Horvat trade, but that was nice. But it's I can't even be mad. I'm more of disappointed than anything. Because not that long ago, the Islanders were in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in Tampa. You can make a very good argument that if they beat Tampa, there's one more Stanley Cup sitting here on the island. They were beating Montreal.
Yeah.
They were beating
everyone
the
was beating
Canadiens
Montreal that year.
I mean, except for Vegas.
Well, yeah.
But
Womp womp.
And Toronto.
Well, Toronto
And
had every
Winnipeg.
opportunity, couldn't just
And
couldn't close
Winnipeg,
the
don't
door.
forget. Yeah,
Fuck
and Winnipeg,
that
don't forget
pathetic
them.
fan base in Toronto. I'm sorry. Screw all of you, Leafs.
It's funny.
You Isles fans live in your head rent free every stinking day. Oh, jeez. Anyway, but as much as I want to, the rational fan in me says, okay, blow it up. But at the same point, the Metro's a dogfight.
Yep.
Every year we go through this. 2 points separate them from last place, and 1 point separates them from fourth. How? Literally how? I don't even know who can trust Philadelphia at this point. I mean, the only three realistic good teams, one of them is here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it took you 10 minutes to get the weekend that
Technically
was the
5.
Islanders.
Technically 5.
Technically.
Technically.
But
Yeah,
it's okay. We bust each other's balls here, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay.
it's true.
But someone said the Islanders should. I mentioned this a few episodes ago that someone said the Islanders should fire Lou and replace him with Ray Shiro, and I was ready to punch a hole through my TV.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, that's no.
That's danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Mayday, says Brad May.
Mayday, Mayday. R.I.P.
One of the
Rick
greatest goaltenders, one of the greatest goal calls ever.
Yep, and that was when they swept Boston in '93.
Yeah, RJ.
I think got swept by Montreal in the next round.
Speaking of random goaltenders, Ryan Miller.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Speaking of the Sabres, I'm not pissed off as much as I'm just disappointed and numb at this point, because there's a certain number of Isles fans that want Lou fired. Congratulations.
How long has he been there?
He's been here since 2018.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems right.
Because right after Lou got here, Doug White was fired, Garth Snow was fired, Barry Trotz is brought in. Literally within weeks. Speaking of Kenny Weeks, random Islander goaltender.
Kevin Weeks, also New
Kevin
Jersey
Weeks,
Devils.
thank you. Kevin
Also,
Weeks.
New York Ranger.
Also,
Hey,
New York
look at
Rangers.
that.
Hey,
Hey,
there's someone we need to get on here one of these
Yeah, I was gonna
days.
say.
Hey,
But
but he'll be like this, like with
Yeah,
the,
he's
with
gonna.
the-
Yeah.
He'll be like
You can't
be like
see his,
this.
There you go, perfect, just like that.
just like that.
Like SpongeBob
with his
over
eyes,
his head or something.
with his eyes,
weird.
just like, good
Yep.
God, that
Hi,
should be
guys.
the thumbnail.
Yeah,
That face
perfect.
should be the thumbnail of this episode. This just it's just
it's disturbing.
it's put
All right,
yourself
we're
back.
going
Put it
back.
back.
Okay, we're going back.
Put it back,
They're back.
please.
All right, it's over.
With all due respect, of course, Ryan.
That'll
But-
be in the Twitter announcement for tomorrow, or Instagram.
Who
Hey, we're
wouldn't
live.
wanna watch? Who doesn't want to watch now?
Hey guys. But it's
Who did it better, Ryan or Kevin Weeks? Answer:
God.
Kevin Weeks.
Kevin Weeks.
Oh,
This had
Jesus.
SpongeBob.
Did I mention Christopher Gibson yet? I did. Oh boy, David Riddick. Anyway, I'm going off track here. Congratulations, Islander fans. You now experience what it was like to be an Islander fan from 1997 to 2017. Frustration.
John Van Beek.
Utter. Good job.
Yeah.
Utter frustration. Yevgeny Nabokov.
Ooh.
It's a
Peter
good one.
Sidorkowitz.
Kevin Poulin.
Scott Clemenson.
We're just naming random goaltenders at this point. This is fun. I like this game.
That'll be the title of the episode.
It's better
Random
just
goaltenders.
complaining about our teams because we suck.
I like this game. This game is fun.
This game is fun. It distracts me from how bad my teams are.
It distracts me from how much I want to drink myself to sleep over this stupid fucking team.
This is what prevents me from drinking a whole bottle of Jack right out of the bottle.
Oh boy, do not recommend. Do not recommend doing that.
Don't do it with Jaeger either.
Especially on a Sunday with
No,
the Sunday
Jaeger would
scaries
be
are coming around the corner.
worse.
It is worse. I've done it. It's terrible.
Brian, are you okay, man?
Yeah,
No,
are
my
you good?
friend's just really into Jaeger. I don't know why.
It's the college kids, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Damn kids, their music.
Sienna loves Coors Light and Jaeger bombs.
Listen, and shitty beer.
As
Shitty
is-
beer, Chief Keef, and,
Hey.
God knows what.
Hey,
As
the
is
liquor
the-
store down the road. They'll give you a 30-pack for $20.
It's
And
true. I've been,
Lizzo.
to that. I've been to that beverage store.
Latham Bev, it's the best.
And
It's a
Lizzo.
beverage.
And they all love Lizzo for some reason.
Ugh. As is Franciscan tradition.
Jesus. It's like a blob. It's like a blob.
Mike Dunham. Should we go to the city?
Oh,
Oh,
why not?
fuck this team sometimes.
Let's go to the city. All right, Brian. How much of a mess are the Rangers in?
Oh, they're the absolute worst. But first, Cam Talbot.
The
Anyway,
worst!
Cam Talbot's not random. He's
no, I was just thinking of an old Rangers goal.
the only reason why you guys won the President's Trophy in 2014.
That's fair. Hank did get hurt that year, and he stepped up in a big way.
See,
We
thank
traded
God.
him to the Edmonton. No,
Edmonton, yes.
Yeah,
By the
Edmonton
way,
off
we
season.
have named all three goaltenders who have played for the Devils, the Islanders, and the Rangers in this episode.
It's impressive.
I was wrong about Chico Rush. He played for the Flyers. not
Talbot
the Rangers.
didn't play for the Islanders yet.
Yet.
Talbot never played for the Islanders.
Kim Talbot?
He played for Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, he did play for Philadelphia. Also played for the. I remember him playing with the Connecticut Whale back in the day when I went to see the.
In Minnesota.
Yep, Minnesota. Had a cup of coffee with. I think he had a cup of coffee with
Calgary.
Calgary or Edmonton.
I think it was Calgary. Edmonton,
on.
he was good there. Speaking
Go.
of Philadelphia, Antoniemi.
Peter Mrazek.
No. Michael Neuwirth.
Fair. All right, so the Rangers, they're a mess.
Oh, they're the absolute worst. They are. They had a disgusting 5-1 loss to the Kings this week.
You're better than
3-2
where we are right now, Brian. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Okay, Cam Talbot, Rangers, Edmonton. I was right about Edmonton.
Yeah.
Philly, Calgary, Minnesota, Ottawa. Had a cup of coffee in Ottawa.
Mm.
Last year with the Kings, this year with Detroit. So yes. So Islanders, absolute. Not Islanders. Rangers. Mess.
Ryan Murray.
Yeah.
Matt
Yeah, no,
Murray,
they're
excuse me.
3-10 in their last 13, and since the first game against the Florida Panthers back on October 24th, which many considered like the first real test for this Rangers team, this team has been 10-13 since that game. So they're pretty much just living off their really hot stretch, their really hot start, and they've been playing sub 500 hockey ever since. So, we don't want to overreact on small sample sizes. I think 23 games is a pretty good sample size of what this team is. And that's a team that could be good, but it's soft like they have been the past 3 years. And even if they did make the playoffs, they're not going farther than maybe the second round. If Igor gets really hot, it turns into like Igor God mode that we've seen the past couple seasons. And I know everyone's going to be yelling about fire Laviolette. We've talked about it on this show when he might get fired. But I was sitting there thinking about it the other day. And no matter who the coach is, this was going to happen because it's on the players. It's on guys like Mika Zibanejad having the worst season for basically 2 years now. It's on Keandre Miller regressing. It's on Ryan Lindgren basically going from the heart and soul of the team to having, the physicality of his game catch up with him. It's on Adam Fox, who is still a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not living up to those super high expectations we all had with him. I think he's still dealing with a knee injury, but that's, a story for a different day. And even Artemi Panarin, like Panarin's a great regular season player. He's leading the Rangers in points this year. But once we get to the playoffs, I expect nothing from him because I have, 3 seasons of him just laying goose eggs in the playoffs. Like, sure, he had the overtime winner in 2022 against the Penguins. That was his one moment as a Ranger. His one Ranger moment was that. Other than that, he's been nothing.
$11.65 million a year, by the way, ladies.
Yeah, thank God it's only for 2 more seasons. Panarin is going to be such a weird player to look back on because he was so good in the regular season, but just did nothing in the playoffs. Absolutely.
By the way, took
nothing.
less money to go to the Rangers over the Islanders.
He did take less money to go there. How much was the Islanders offer again? Did they offer him like 12?
12 or 13, I can't
Yeah, I was
remember.
going to say, I thought it was around 12. But
he was the overwhelming favorite to go to the Islanders before.
He was. Because I was shocked when we got him. I could have sworn he was an Islander.
Elvis Merzlikins.
Moose Hedberg.
There we go.
Many players on the New Jersey Devils are making more than $10 million this year?
2. None.
Yep.
Yeah, we go.
That's right.
The
Hughes is coming, though.
The closest is Dougie Hamilton, who's making 9.
Hughes is making 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 mil. Timo Meyer, 8.8. Jesper Bratt, 7.875. Nico Hischier, 7.25. Yeah.
Huh.
And they got Dawson Mercer in a bridge deal. He won't
Martin
be
Jones.
He won't be a restricted free agent until he'll be a restricted free agent in 2028. Which is
Did I mention Cam Ward yet?
You just did.
Good. Delightful.
Keith Kincaid.
Oh, Keith.
Long Island's own Keith Kincaid, by the way.
Union College's own Keith Kincaid.
Hey,
Oh, he went to Union? Wow.
He went to Union, yeah. He was there.
That's a double whammy right there.
He left for the NHL the year before they won the NCAA tournament.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jose
he played
Theodore.
Played for the Devils. There you go. Jose. Cristobal Huey.
This game was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Just distracts from how miserable we both are about our
Craig
team.
Speaking of
Billington.
Ryan Lindgren, Charlie Lindgren, his brother.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Speaking of brothers, Malcolm Subban, who's currently with Ottawa's minor league team.
That was right. Vegas is back up for a little bit.
Yeah. He's with
right.
the Benville. What's their name?
Belleville Senators.
Thank you. He's with Belleville now. So
Yeah,
saw him the other day in Bridgeport. He didn't do anything.
Because they moved from Binghamton.
Yeah.
Jordan
To a
Sparks.
And then there you go. Craig, speaking of Binghamton, Greg Billington.
Hey. There we go.
There we go.
I knew this game would be a fun idea.
It was a great idea.
Random goaltender generator.
I mean, this is just sitting in like your house with your buddies, just like just naming random athletes. It's the best. We do that for hours.
You could.
It's like the great sandwich debate. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole right now.
You mean?
All right, back to
I
the-
see the face, Brian. Don't even think about it.
Is it the same? It's just the question I think you're going to ask.
What is the question, Brian?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
What is the qualifications of a sandwich?
Oh. I don't
In this
know.
case, why is a burger not a sandwich?
Meat, bread.
Speaking of hamburger, Freddie Anderson. Wait.
Andrew Hammond.
And there we go. That's what I was thinking of, Andrew Hammond. I was thinking of the wrong Senators goaltender.
Rubble.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the Rangers, I guess. Because why not just torture ourselves on this show?
Hold on.
I got nothing. I got drawing blanks.
Do you think Ryan just enters the bedroom with his wife and just goes, "Rubble, I'm ready for bed."
I'm not married, but it's a kinky role playing game right there. Here comes Grimace.
Can we get that clipped?
Oh shit!
I'll have it in a minute.
What
I'll
a
have it in a
10-piece
minute.
McFucking shit fest this is. Where's the button? Where's the old Spidey?
Hang on, it's coming. Hang on.
It's coming, all right.
It's coming.
Something's coming.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I know. Nailed it.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Crying. Oh.
All right.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway,
Rolling
yeah.
on.
So the Rangers need to rebuild. They need to trade. I would say Chris Kreider. I know Kreider's not the exact problem, but moving him is like the symbolic moving on from an era. You move on from the last guy that was with Hank. You move on from this losing. You trade him away. You move Miller. You move Lindgren. You try to move Mika in the offseason, even though I doubt you can do that, but you can at least explore it. But regardless of what the Rangers decide to do the deadline, there is one player they have to trade, and that is Kaapo Kakko. And this one hurts because I love Kaapo Kakko. I think he's nowhere near the second overall pick he was supposed to be. He's not lived up to be the scorer we thought he could be, but he's been a very productive bottom six forward. I mean, the line of him, Will Cooley, and Filipino has been arguably our best line all season. But yet again, the Rangers are trying to send a message to the locker room and, shake things up by punishing Kaapo Kakko. We saw it in the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2022 against Tampa, where in Game 6 they scratched Kakko on the 15th. So yesterday they scratched Kakko. So this team, no matter what, for whatever reason, when they need to send a message or punish somebody, they're always picking Kaapo Kakko. Now, is it because he's a quote-unquote bust and didn't live up to his expectation? Maybe. Is it just, he's an easy bottom six guy to move out? That could be it too. But this is a 23-year-old who, could still develop into a decent middle six forward. Like, he's still very young for his age. He's still, some guys are late bloomers. We saw Tage Thompson, I forgot how old he was, but he was older when he kind of finally lived up to his expectations. That's just not going to happen in New York with how the front office doesn't trust him, the lack of ice time. There's actually value right now in Kaapo Kakko. You could move Kakko for an interesting piece or have him in a package to get something good. Move him now. Hey, what's up?
Jimmy Howard. Just purposely derails everything for comedy purposes.
Yes, I love it.
Ilya Samsonov?
Ari Ahonen. You're talking about Finns. He's a Finnish goaltender.
There you go.
Finland!
Finland. The country where I want to be. Yanni Denis.
Do you think Finland has great chocolate? I wonder these things.
Chocolate,
I
but
don't know about chocolate.
Maybe they make delightful sweets.
maybe.
Yoo-hoo. Big summer blowout. Yoo-hoo.
All right, Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast road trip. Here we go.
We're going on
Can we
a
take-
trip
can we
to
take
our
a road
favorite
trip to
derailing ship. Rick DiPietro.
Ken Appleby.
Oh, I had it.
Oh, that's a good one. Shit. Oh, God.
Tommy Soderstrom.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. What was it?
Brandon
Tommy
Holtby.
Salo. Tommy Salo.
Corey Schneider?
Yep, played for the
That's a good
Islanders
one.
and the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Yeah. And Vancouver.
Yes.
Backed up Roberto Luongo, too.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
he was the last one of the last trades that Lou made before he jumped ship to the Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. What a weird time we're living in.
Indeed.
Oh,
So-
yeah, it's definitely
so-
weird.
So here's my question, you guys, and this was a great question that Stanley brought up in the chat in the green room before we went on.
Stanley Cup.
And I'll just switch our our format here. Which team blows it up first? The Islanders or the Rangers?
Who's the more impatient owner?
Rangers.
It's the Rangers.
It's Dolan.
It's Dolan.
Dolan's going to blow
Dolan.
up first, but who's more likely to do it?
Corey
We are.
Schwab. Did I say Corey Schwab already?
I don't know. I lost track over the
Yeah, I was gonna say
hundreds of goaltenders we already mentioned beforehand. Jeez. This game is fun. This game is really fun. Let's be honest here. I mean, more likely to blow up first. It's a flip a coin and see where it lands, or pin the tail on the donkey kind of situation, blindfolded.
yeah, it's
Every
50-50.
time.
I think the Rangers are gonna at least start their rebuild this trade deadline. I really do.
Speaking of blindfold, I have a story for you guys, an off-topic story. So at my
This is not going to end well. I have a story and it involves
This is
a
gonna be
blind.
great.
We've already
It involves-
talked.
We've already
So-
put those together.
Look, we've already talked about role playing. Okay.
No, it's hysterical.
Continue.
So one of my
Here
good
comes
friends,
Grimace.
one of my
comes
Jesus
Grimace.
Christmas. Oh God, what a McFucking disaster, am I
Hey,
right?
actually, the
Hey.
Mets did steal that clip. That's ours now.
We stole it. Copyright. Bam.
Yeah.
It's like Bacon Robot Demon Slayer. Mine.
Fine.
Tony Esposito.
Yes. Yes, delightful.
Kirk McLean.
You're good at this game. I like
Yeah,
this
really-
game.
you are.
But so I have a friend of mine. Her name is Ariel, and she's a delightful human being. And at my engagement party, she's like 4 months or 5 months pregnant at the time, and she shows up to the engagement party. And one of the games we were playing is called "Pin the Ring on the Finger" or some shit, blindfold and shit like that. And right as what's his face, like my aunt or some shit, says like, "Oh, by the way, you're blindfolded," doing it on fucking cue, like without hesitation. Ariel pops out of nowhere and says, "Blindfolded? I'm into that shit. I'm in."
That's how you got pregnant.
And 8 months later, my son was born.
Johnny Bauer.
Her daughter, actually. Her daughter is coming soon, so that's delightful. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
I guess it's the time we take our network mandated break. But when we come back,
We
let's
ruined
talk
it
some
last time.
We're talking some New
We
Jersey
tried
Devils.
beforehand, it didn't work.
Yeah, no.
We tried before, we didn't work, but this time it's going to work. So stay tuned for more. The
Trust
Three
God.
Rails Metro Hockey Podcast, Ken Dryden, on No Credentials Required. Stand by, stay tuned.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, we can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
Gump Worsley,
Ron
And
Hextall.
Bishop.
Tom Barrasso.
Ooh. Braden
SeatGeek.
Holtby.
Hey.
I said him already.
You did?
I did.
I wasn't paying attention.
So, if you want to see these goaltenders and
Anyway.
more,
Anyway,
hey, but you also want to save some coin, go to SeatGeek.com, use promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, get $20 off your order of $50 or more. But it's not just hockey tickets you can use this for. You
Blues
also
could
find
do, we can too.
tickets to
I
Pink.
heard Skidoo. I was like, Blues could do, we can do.
You can also find tickets to see Pink Floyd.
look at that. It all ties in now.
Here it is. It all
Five
ties
of the
in
members
together.
are dead.
Which is a really long ad break.
Yes.
Brian
Roger
Elliott.
Waters isn't. But hockey, it's sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, anything that requires a box office ticket. You can find it at SeatGeek.com. You use their pricing tool to find the best tickets for the best prices, and you can save yourself a little bit of coin by using promo code BellyUpSports at checkout for $20 off your order of $50 or more. That's SeatGeek.com. Enter promo
Johnny
code
Bauer.
BellyUp. I already said it him.
Oh, you
Bill
did?
Grubauer.
Promo code BellyUpSports at checkout for $20 off, $50 or more. Chris Osgood.
Pete Peters.
Ooh.
Felix Potvin.
Clint Malarchuk.
Eddie Johnston.
Mike Vernon.
Ooh. Ben Bishop.
Hey, tall guy. He's the first really tall goaltender.
6'6", by the way.
Yeah, he's a tall drink of water.
Indeed.
Yeah.
He's a tall salmon. What?
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 My
Eddie
brain
Giacomo.
just went.
Eddie Giacomin.
Tommy Salo.
I already said him.
Oh, damn it.
All right.
James
go to-
Reimer.
Let's go to the Garden State. All right, folks. New Jersey Devils hockey. We had one game this weekend because on Thursday we recorded. They were playing the Los Angeles Kings and beating the Los Angeles Kings and snapping
Steve
their.
Mason.
Thank you. And ending their streak. Glenn Healy. Ending their winning streak. Played Chicago on Saturday. Got off to a slow start. Did not score the first two periods. Actually Chicago scored a goal off of Luke Hughes' face.
Corey Crawford, speaking of Chicago.
There you go.
Oh, that's
And-
who I was thinking of before.
And New Jersey
Crap.
Devils great Corey Crawford, who never played.
New York Americans, great Dave Kerr.
There you go.
Yeah.
New York Americans.
Yeah, that's before all of our
I
times.
was gonna say that's
Nikolai Habibulin.
All right.
But Devils scored 4 goals in a matter of minutes to vanquish the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1. And there was one notable play that actually turned out to be a game-winning goal scored by Jack Hughes, where Jesper Bratt fights off, goes to the boards, fights off a Blackhawks defender, passes it to Brent Pesce, who passes it to Jack Hughes and has an absolute snipe past the goaltender. And that was basically the game-winning goal because the Devils scored a couple more goals after that, wrapped up the game 4-1. Temporarily went up in first place in the Metropolitan Division. But there's some interesting stats with this New Jersey Devils team. They're special teams. Second in the league in the power play. They're
Wayne
only
Thomas.
Thank you. They're only 0.3 point behind Winnipeg for the top spot with the power play. They're 30%. But they're 8th in penalty kill. Garth Snow.
Indeed.
But guess who's been on the power play? Guess who's been in the penalty kill the last couple of games for the New Jersey Devils? Jack Hughes.
John Davidson.
Jack Hughes is actually turning out to be wow. Jack Hughes is actually turning out to be an effective penalty killer for the New Jersey Devils. And they've been pretty spectacular on the penalty kill the last couple of games, and this team just seemed to be surprising me in different directions this season. Nico Hischier's coming alive with the goal scoring. Jack Hughes is not leading the team in points, but that's okay. He doesn't necessarily have to. Pesce scored his first goal as a Devil shorthanded, which hasn't happened in about 2 seasons. David Stevenson was the last defenseman to score shorthanded, a shorthanded goal for the New Jersey Devils. So there's some pleasant surprises on this team so far this year.
Vitek Vanacek. Former
New
Devil.
Jersey Devil, current San Jose Shark, I believe, as well. Also, it's fun. Also, it's very funny that let's see, who is it? Scott Wedgwood,
Mackenzie Blackwood.
Mackenzie Blackwood, are now on the same team with the Colorado Avalanche, and Miles Wood is also on the team. So the Avalanche have a literal
There's Miles
forest.
Wood in there somewhere.
Not a goaltender, but a former New Jersey Devil, now a part of the Colorado Avalanche, which is funny. So, but
Devin Dubnyk,
there you
Oh,
go.
good one.
former Avalanche too.
Andy
Yeah.
Moog,
Ville Husso.
Grant Fuhr.
It's just an hour of this shit.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
So
Oh, boy.
Devils keep rolling along. They're a point behind Washington for first place in the Metro. But I don't know what the scheduling is for this year with the league, because New Jersey has played 33 games so far this year. Washington has only played 29. They're 21-6-2. Washington. I mean,
Semyon Varlamov.
ooh, there you go.
Alexander Georgiev.
Marty Turco.
Vinny Husso.
Ole Kolzig.
Kolzig sounds like a random ice cream flavor.
It does.
Sounds like a beer.
It does sound like a good. It
Yes,
sounds
I'll have the Kolzig.
were there any like goaltenders from like Ireland?
You know what?
Google.
I mean, technically, he's not a goaltender, but Owen Nolan is technically
What an Irish
from
name.
Northern
Yeah,
Northern
I
Ireland.
was gonna say.
What an Irish name that is.
Yeah, Owen Nolan is the only Irish-born NHLer in history.
Al Montoya.
Ooh, what's a good one? Former University of Michigan product.
Louis Domingue. Former Devil.
Yes, that's right. Louis Domingue. Yes.
Anders
In the
Nielsen.
Rangers
Oh
system
my
right now.
god, what a name! That's a throwback.
Totally is. J.S. Jaguar.
Matt Murray.
Former Devil and Canuck, Eddie Lack.
Yes. Good old
He was
Eddie Lack.
really good with Vancouver for a hot minute.
He was. Ooh, Bill Ranford. Fun fact about Bill Ranford. He was the goaltender. So during the movie Miracle, you had, I forgot his name, who played Jim Craig.
Jim Craig.
Eddie. Yeah, Jim Craig.
That's
I forgot his name. Eddie something. I can't remember his
I
name.
got it.
But he played Mike Craig in the movie.
Eddie Cahill.
Eddie Cahill. Yes, Eddie Cahill. He played Mike Craig in the movie, but Bill Ranford was the one who was in goal as Jim Craig during the action sequence.
So it was like the stunt double for him, kind of.
yeah, his athlete,
Cool.
the athletic stunt double. Yes.
Yeah.
Chad Johnson.
Oh,
So good things happening from the New Jersey Devils. Continue to roll along, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. They need to improve their home record. They're 11-4 away from the Prudential Center. They're
What's
a
the
good
record at
road
home?
team. They're good. 9-6-3.
Okay.
Casey DeSmith. All right, I'm pausing for a while.
Gilles Gilbert. Eddie Cheevers.
How many of these guys do you think are in the Hall of Fame?
Good question.
Hella. Oh my goodness.
Is there anybody out there?
Ooh, here's the one. Arturs Urbe.
Hey, Jack Campbell.
The man who, yeah, Arturs Urbe, who was so cheap, who was so inexpensive for the Carolina Hurricanes back in the day. Usually teams spent a ridiculous amount of money on goaltending equipment, but Arturs Urbe maintained his own equipment. And I saw a crazy statistic. 1 year, he only wound up costing the Carolina Hurricanes like $500.
No kidding.
No
What?
kidding, for like goaltender equipment because he did his own maintenance with his pads and his glove and his blocker.
Speaking of Carolina, Alex Nedeljkovic.
Yep.
Who was that? Who was the Zamboni driver? I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah. Oh,
David Ayers.
Thank you.
love that guy.
David Ayers gets all the beer in the world after that.
After that win is in 2020. After that win, I posted a meme of Deadpool as David Ayers, and you know that scene in Deadpool when he's running over the criminal, over the bad guy with a Zamboni.
Yeah.
I'm
He's chasing-
killing you with a Zamboni. I posted
Scott
that
Darling.
as the Toronto Maple Leafs playoff hopes in 2020.
Scott Darling.
Oh, Scott Darling's a good one.
Andrew Raycroft.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tomas Vokoun.
Alexander Georgiev. I'm shocked
Already
no
said
one's
him.
mentioned.
I did say him. Yeah.
I'm trying to
Okay.
stay away from I'm trying to stay away from current goaltenders, but whatever. Trevor Kidd. One of you might have mentioned him already.
Darcy Kemper?
Mike Smith.
Arizona legend, by the way.
Yep.
Should be in the Hall of Fame very soon.
I think he's still playing in Switzerland.
Is he really?
I
Really?
think so.
Let's see.
Really? Jonas Hedberg. Johan Hedberg, excuse me. I got that wrong.
42 years old.
Jim Rutherford.
I don't see anything on Wikipedia where he's playing. This is a
No.
former ice hockey goaltender.
All right. I thought after he got chased out of Edmonton that he would play somewhere in Europe.
Uh-huh.
He was in gold when I went to see Devils and the Oilers in 20 on New Year's Eve 2021. It was such a fun game.
Jonathan
Nice.
Quick.
There you go.
Oh, good one.
Cujo.
Don Beaupre.
There we go. Curtis Joseph.
Ooh, Ken Riggett.
Hall of Famer Terry Sawchuk.
John Casey.
All right. Grant Fiore.
I already said Grant Fuhr.
Fuck. All right. Dominic Hasek.
Freddie
Ooh,
Anderson.
Ilya Brizgalov, who was an interesting guy. If you ever watched the road to the road to the Winter Classic a bunch of years back, it's explaining talking about space and bears.
Yes, I love this. Yeah, I know
Did we
exactly what you're
mention-
talking about. I know
Did we
the exact
mention former
video.
Ranger, Devil, and Islander John Van Briesbroek?
Yes, I mentioned him already.
Okay.
Because we also talked about Kevin Weeks as well.
Craig Anderson.
Yep, I think you mentioned him earlier. Darren Pupa.
Took a Rask.
Scott Foster.
By the way, one of the greatest trades the Maple Leafs ever made was trading one of their top prospects to the Bruins for Phil Kessel, who ended up being Tuukka Rask,
Yes.
Hey,
who proceeded to haunt the Maple Leafs for a decade.
And didn't they have a first round pick that became someone big too?
Oh, good lord!
There was another big guy in that trade too. Was it
Harold Ballard. Good lord,
was it
that
Sagan?
ownership tenure was
Sagan
so
supposed
bad.
to be a Maple Leaf, but they traded that pick away?
Stiggin, well, I'm getting traded to Dallas.
Yeah, but I think the pick that was used to pick him was originally Toronto's.
Andre Vasilevsky was supposed to be Maple Leaf, by the way, and during one of the many trades that happened,
Yeah.
it never happened.
I think you could take a whole All-Star team off like potential Leafs picks that they just traded away.
Yeah.
Speaking of Devils, I forgot to mention this. Manny Fernandez, by the way.
Yes.
His nephew, his uncle, Jacques Lemaire, is going to be inducted into the New Jersey Devils Hall of Fame in
Yeah,
February.
good for him.
Hey, that's delightful.
Yeah, head coach of the first Stanley Cup winning team from the New Jersey Devils in 1995. It's going to be 30 years next in short order.
Kari Lehkonen.
Kari Lehkonen. That's right. Oh, yeah. The Atlanta Thrashers
And
legend.
Dallas.
Ron Hextall.
Andrei Pavlik.
Hall of Famer Billy Smith.
Yep. Yeah, you said Eddie Lack already. Man,
Yeah, I did.
crazy. All right, speaking of
Tiny Thompson.
Dominic
Tiny
Hasek.
Johnson.
I did mention him already.
All right, well, speaking of former Sabres goaltenders, let's talk about these Buffalo Sabres. They've lost 10. It had got off to a decent start. Actually got off to a decent start.
I feel bad for the Sabres fans.
And
Oh
they've
my
lost
God, horrible for
10
them.
in a row.
Oh my god.
Especially when like
the
the same ownership owns the Bills, and you see how the Bills
Yes.
are run compared to how the Sabres are run. It's like, how can the
Mhm.
same
It's-
people run two polar opposite teams?
It's not just that, it's the fact that the Sabres, even before the Pagulas owned them, have been a dumpster fire of an organization. Yeah, they made the playoffs almost on a regular basis for 20 years. Even made a cup final. His foot was in the crease, 1999. But I forget who it was. I think it was Steve Dangle who mentioned this. That it's like
10 the goal.
no, yeah, I know, right?
You lost to Zamboni driver.
But it's what is this? Kevin Adams mentioned something about like, oh, look at the Bills. They have Josh Allen. It's like, yeah, you had a Josh Allen. His name was Jack Eichel, and you pissed him off.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You
just let him get
pissed
the
him off
surgery.
and you sent him to Vegas for potato chips. Who, by the way, Jack Eichel won a cup.
Indeed, he did.
It's one of the most mind-boggling things in the world because the Sabres, like the Islanders, have talent. The Sabres have talent. Weirdly enough, they do, ladies and gentlemen. Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin, just to name a few. Dylan Cousins as well.
I'm surprised Dahlin hasn't demanded a trade. He's been there for a while too.
He's signed to a long-term extension, and he's the captain of the Sabres. The
And it's
chances
like,
of
at a certain point, you have to be like, enough. I want to go somewhere and win.
you have to be a psychopath if you are getting that much money, granted to be playing in Buffalo, but let's also be honest here. Dahlin's the face of the Sabres, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But
Well, so was
how
Eichel.
long
They
has
pissed
Kevin
him
Adams
off.
been with the Sabres?
At least 3 I think at least 3
Has to
seasons.
be longer than 3 seasons. Brian Ryan,
On it.
Google, please.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
He's got to be there for at least 5 years, 5-6 years. There's no way. He's been
Kevin
with the organization
Adams.
for a while.
He was named the assistant coach on August 3rd, 2011.
Oh, good God.
He is
Then he was fired in 2013.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. Went back to the front office in 2019.
Yeah, and Jason Botterill was before him.
I'm Robin Leonard. Speaking of former Sabres who were pissed off at the organization, it's amazing the fact that you can piss off that many people. Like Sabres fans, I've talked to a couple Sabres fans, and they all said like, "This ain't surprising." By the way, Islander fans, this is what you want. You want dysfunction. You want shitty like management. You want instability. Not stability, instability. That's what you're getting in Buffalo. That's what you're getting with the Sabres. And I don't know where exactly it ends. Maybe let's say they fire Kevin Adams, which by the way, Terry Pagula and his incompetent ass like worded it. He says, "Yeah, we have faith in you." Where's the faith here in Buffalo?
Yeah. What has he done to give you faith?
What
Caden
has
Primo.
Kevin Adams done besides sign, Owen Power and,
He drafted Owen
drafted Owen Power and drafted Rasmus Dahlin and signed them to 7 and 8 year extensions? Like, let's be honest here. I mean,
That's
who was the Blue Jackets GM for a long time? I can't remember his name.
He's from Finland. Hey, coming back to Finland.
Finland.
Jaromir Kekalainen, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Even he could have signed that deal. Even he and his dip ass, who ran Columbus into the ground, could have done those contracts.
But anyone could have done those contracts.
Anyone.
You could put someone who's never seen a hockey game in their life and just tell them to sign those contracts.
You could give it to my grandmother who's dead, and she could have done those contracts. Sorry, Grandma. It's too easy. It was low-hanging fruit.
Thatcher Demko.
I said that already.
Damn it. I just said Caden Primo,
There you go.
son of Keith Primo.
Hey, who's in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, right?
Keith Primo? No.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
But I was looking at the Mike Richter. Hey, Mike Richter.
Hey.
Awarded to the best college hockey goaltender. This award has only been in existence since 2014. So the award winners are as follows: 2014, Connor Hellebuck; 2015, Zane McIntyre. Zane McIntyre is currently with the Boston Bruins organization, but he's playing in he's currently playing in the Deutsche Ice Hockey Liga. The Straubing Tigers. They got Thatcher Demko in 2016, Tanner Gillette 2017, Cale Morris 2018 was currently an unrestricted free agent. He was undrafted in the NHL. The aforementioned Caden Primo, Jeremy Swayman in 2020, Jack LaFontaine in 2021, Devin Levi, speaking of Buffalo Sabres, Devin Levi 2021 and 2022. And then last year was Kyle McClellan, who is undrafted. So I don't think he's no wait, he's
Where are we going with this here?
I don't know, I'm just
Just naming goalies.
naming goalies for the hell
won
of
the
it.
Mike
Thank you,
Richter
because that
award.
was a little long.
No, I was waiting.
But here's the thing.
I'm like, I don't think he has a
But let
point.
me go
I
back
think
to my
he's just,
point
like,
because
Francesco.
Devin Levi is a Buffalo Sabre. Devin Levi is
Okay, thank you.
with the
Because
Buffalo
like,
Sabres.
it's
So-
one of those great mysteries where you wonder when the suffering ends.
I wonder, am I saying this? Well, it's interesting. I was going to say it just seems like the Buffalo Sabres are the New York Jets of the NHL. But that would be an insult. But that would be an insult to the Buffalo Sabres because these two teams have the longest playoff drought in professional sports currently.
which is amazing to think about.
Yeah, only the Jets' last playoff appearance was 2010. Buffalo Sabres' last playoff appearance was 2011. So these two teams have the longest playoff droughts currently, which is crazy. Yeah, it's brutal.
Like, how do you even have faith as a fan that things were going to change if you had a decade plus of just losing?
Here's what I think the Pagulas should do. All right, they need to regroup because they had a longtime GM, Darcy Regier, I think, who was the longtime GM for the Buffalo Sabres.
You're probably right.
He's a longtime GM for the Buffalo Sabres. Either he was let go or he retired. But ever since then, the Sabres have been an absolute mess. An absolute mess. And I can't blame it on the Pagulas because they're trying.
No, like,
although
yeah, the
technically
Pagulas, we could laugh at Terry and Kim Pagula all we want.
Primarily Kim, because she's the one who's making the decisions for the Sabres.
Yeah, Kim.
Oh, good Lord.
Now.
Yeah.
Me too, movement. Do not come after me. I'm sorry, but like, what the Pagulas should do is that they should look after it. Don't cancel me, YouTube. I'm sorry, but like, what the Pagulas should do is they should look around the league and say, hey, who can we go after as a GM, like a veteran general manager that has been in the league for a long time, like, I don't know, a Steve Yzerman, he's in Tampa, he's in Detroit right now, but like a Doug Wilson.
Oh, they want to run him out of town.
Yeah, they would have, like a Doug Wilson?
No, I'm talking about Steve Yzerman.
Steve
the Yzer plan. The Yzer plan
failed,
is not. The Yzer plan is not working in Detroit.
No, it's not. Like, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, hey, a general manager that at least knows what they're doing.
Did you guys ever watch one of the first 30 for 30s? It's called Pony Excess. It's about the story of the SMU Mustangs football team
I started watching it. I've seen parts of it. Yeah.
that got caught with their So I would highly watch it, but I would highly recommend it because I'm old enough to remember that era. God, I'm old. But one thing that they did, that SMU did, and I'll spoil it for you there, Brian. I'm sorry if I'm.
Oh no, I know the story.
You know the story, okay?
Yeah, I know.
One thing
I
that
know
they
all that.
did was that they were trying to after they get the death penalty in the NCAA gave them the death penalty. They came back and they were absolutely god awful. Like they had one winning season in the 10 that they had, or 10 or 15 that they had after they came back after the death penalty. So what their AD did was that he went to the members of those teams from back in the early 80s, the Pony Express, Craig James, Eric Dickerson, all those guys that got brought in and almost brought them a national title back in the 80s.
Probably should have in like 82, right?
Yeah, they should have won in 82, but their coach got cold feet in the game and they went up tying and didn't play for a national title. They went up, I think Penn State won the national title that year.
Yeah.
But what that AD, the athletic director, did was that he went out and reached out to the alumni and said, "What do I have to do to get this program back to where it was before?" And they said, "You got to bring in a great coach." So I think what the Pagulas need to do, is reach out to former Buffalo Sabres, like say a Michael Pekka, a
Dominic Hasek.
I don't know. I think Dominic.
Yeah,
Hasek,
true. He had a bad falling out with the Sabres.
He did have a bad falling out with the Sabres, but I don't know if they've patched things up. But you look for Barnaby. You reach out to Barnes.
Pat LaFontaine,
who had
Hall of Famer.
He's Hall of Famer, had a great relationship with the Sabres. And
also former Islander too.
Rob Ray. Reach out to some of these guys who were former players who knew how to win in that town.
Yeah.
And say, guys, what are we doing wrong?
Buffalo's a great sports town.
Buffalo is a great sports town. It is a great sports
You
town.
would not be shocked if Buffalo were to get a Major League Baseball team sometime down the road. I wouldn't be shocked about that at all. And you know what? If the short time that the Blue Jays were there in Buffalo taught us anything, is that, hey, they will support a baseball team.
Yeah.
The fans up in Buffalo are devoted to their clubs. They are. Look at how many dog shit teams the Bills had for decades.
Yeah.
Not including the 90s. Like the 80s, the 70s.
The greatest moment is just marked with failure. Their greatest point is just failure.
When the greatest moment in Bills history is wide right?
Yeah.
42-3 was a pretty big moment too.
But you know what I mean? That was the Super Bowl.
I know what you mean.
This moment is like there are 4 Super Bowls, but it's only remembered because they lost all 4.
Yeah.
Like that's just
exactly. Like the greatest moment in Sabres history, their foot was in the crease. That goal should have been allowed.
Yeah.
But whatever. Mike Modano, regardless.
Darcy Wakaluk. Speaking
Waka
of Buffalo Sabres.
Pac-Man. Waka waka.
Waka 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 waka.
Anyway, but I think you're right, where you reach out to some of the Sabres legends like Brad May, Pat LaFontaine, who we mentioned before, like, Ryan Miller or something like that. But like, some of those guys like Brian Giunta, like some of the old Sabres greats that were around for some really terrible moments, but Ryan Miller was there for the whole time, even to when he left. Like, he still loved Buffalo.
Yep.
Like the fans love them. They're
a lot of those players, if you're a Buffalo Bill or if you're a Buffalo Sabre, they stay.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
they stay in the area.
You think
After
do you
long
think
after they
Packer
retire.
fans are loyal and devoted to their players? Like
Not like Bills fans are.
Bills fans donated like millions of dollars to Andy Dalton
I
Mm-hmm.
remember this story.
for getting the Bills in the playoffs in 2017.
No.
2017, yes. 2017, yes, because they played Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Because they played Jacksonville, yes.
Oh, right. Yeah. The Bortles game.
Yeah, the 9-6, what was it? The 10-9 game
Yeah,
that
that was
a
Bortles versus
defensive
Tyrod,
shit
right?
fest.
Bortles versus Tyrod?
Blake Bortles.
Bortles versus
Quarterback.
Tyrod Taylor, and then later Nathan Peterman, yes. But you
Oh,
know what I mean.
forgot
Like,
they brought in Peterman.
if the Sabres somehow, some way in the next, I don't know, 4 months get on a winning track, and look at the Atlantic Division. The Atlantic Division is very top heavy.
Yeah.
Unlike the Metropolitan, the Atlantic is very top heavy. So if they start winning, which they have the talent to do so,
Yeah.
Sabres fans are suddenly going to pile into KeyBank Arena over in downtown Buffalo. It's gonna if it happens, Sabres fans are gonna start piling in there, and you know what? That place gets loud.
Yeah. I saw a picture from not yesterday's. No, yesterday. No, they were in Washington and they were in Toronto yesterday. Can't remember which game, but I saw like a half-empty Key Arena for a Buffalo Sabres game, which made me sad.
It's
No, that's horrible.
upsetting
It
It is
is.
upsetting.
because there's such a devoted fan base.
Yeah.
Like they really are, and it makes you wonder. And you like, who do you blame here? Who gets the biggest slice of blame pie here? As some fellow radio host up in Seattle would say, like, is it the Pagula family? Is it Kevin Adams? Is it former management? Is it the players?
I think the Pergulas get the biggest was like the owners. But
You
like,
can't blame
but-
the Pagulas because, again, as Ryan said,
Right.
at least they're trying.
no, I
But-
know. It's
but
like
at the
they just
but
don't-
at the
put
end
the
of the
right guys
day, but at the end of the day, who are ones on the ice doing the losing?
Yeah,
It's the players.
it's true,
yeah.
too.
It's the players, but you can also point at a fourth category in there, and that's coaching.
Mm,
Coaching has been god awful, which then brings back to management.
yeah, exactly. Because they're not hiring the right guy.
Yes, which
Which
automatically
you go
brings
back
into
and-
management.
Stop.
When Lindy Ruff is your crying card, you got a problem. You have a massive problem.
And somehow he winds up getting another job in the NHL. We
I don't know how.
These retread coaches.
Yeah, it's
I
legit.
don't know
'cause he's a
how, but,
retread coach. Because he was in the coach, he's in the boys club. That's why. He
I'm
got-
shocked Bill
Got it,
Peters
man.
hasn't gotten the Sabres job yet. Shout out to a former Hurricanes head coach and Flames head coach, Bill Peters.
Andrei Trefilov.
Jeez.
Speaking of Sabres goaltenders,
Carey Price.
you said Carey Price.
I did
thought.
say Carey Price? No, I didn't.
One of us said Carey Price.
Someone said Carey Price. We've probably gone through like a few hundred goaltenders at this point in the last hour and a half.
Marty Baron. All right, we gotta get out of here. But before we do that, let's keep our plug our stuff. Brian, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BrianPG1016. You can find my other podcast, the 3010 Podcast, on YouTube with my co-host Nate. We're doing Giants breakdown tomorrow. Everyone should be fired.
Ugh.
That's the breakdown. And then you
Spoiler.
can find all my writing on Belly Sports.
Dave Dryden,
Jesus.
Mr. Smooth, Staniel San.
Hi, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, put the phone down. You can find me at Staniel Smooth at Twitter and Instagram, at Time to BS Podcast, Twitter and Instagram. You can also you can subscribe to the channel at Time to BS with Staniel Smooth, where you find Time to BS with Staniel Smooth, the Staniel Smooth Show, BS Sessions, and Seahawks Sessions with El Delsto
Hey.
and myself. New live show coming on Friday. BS Sessions will be hopefully returning soon. I have some people I have in mind to get, cause some chaos with. And then Live streams are going to be probably, I God hope so, a returning theme now. So yay.
And we'll tell you where we can find No Credentials Required on social media. It's facebook.com/NoCredsREQ, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok @NoCredsREQ, YouTube.com/@NoCredsREQ. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you find podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, and Pandora. And don't forget to get notified. Hit the notification button on both Twitter and on YouTube. That way you know when you get announcements about the show announcements, you get videos when they come up, when you know the OG show is live, which will be live on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. And then finally, rate, review, leave a comment, all that stuff to let people know that we're out here in the universe. Even if it's unusually cruel, we'll even read it on the
Oh
air.
my God, the hockey gods show no mercy. Tim
No,
Thomas, Hall of
They
Famer.
don't. It's true. And former University of Vermont goaltender as well. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning into the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast, a No Credentials Required podcast. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Media Network. For Brian, for Staniel San, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We'll talk to you next time. Baba Sensa.
Toy department.
There we go.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.